When I was younger, I often went to the library to study whenever there was an important exam coming up. And I remember there was this other student that always came in precisely 5 minutes after I did and sat in front of me and did something that I found completely insufferable. Whenever she was trying to recall some information and something she just read, she would stare into the void like this. I know, but I was so convinced that she was doing something wrong, that she should have been looking up instead of into the void, that I was tempted many times to tell her something about it because I just found it annoying. The only reason I never did it was because I was too shy to do it. And now looking back, what I find most interesting is that at no point did I ever stop to question whether I was right or wrong in feeling like I did. Because for me, the feeling of annoyance and the verdict, in this case, she's doing something wrong and she needs to change, always came together. Hey there, I am Paolo. I make videos about confidence, good habits, and the small things that tend to hold us back in life. Back then, I got annoyed so easily. And every time, it felt completely justified. Like, the feeling itself was proof that something was wrong and needed fixing. And that's the pattern that many of us fall into without even realizing. We feel annoyed, so we assume we must be right. Like when someone is explaining something and you don't get it immediately, and instead of asking questions to understand better, you get irritated and decide automatically that it's their fault for not being clear enough, not yours for not being able to follow. And once we're convinced we are right, whatever comes next feels justified too, whether it's a harsh comment, a criticism, an argument, or just a long afternoon of feeling pissed about it. Because, as we've seen, the feeling of irritation and the verdict come so closely together that we never even notice they're actually two separate things. Now, in a way, it sort of makes sense that we do this, because annoyance is a signal. Something feels uncomfortable, something feels off, so we pay attention to it. That's useful. Problem is that we've promoted this feeling to something way beyond that. From this feels wrong, this is uncomfortable, to this is objectively wrong and someone, not me preferably, needs to do something about it. And all of this has a cost. Not just to the person on the receiving end, but to yourself as well. Because when you get irritated so easily, and the feeling of irritation always comes with a preloaded verdict, you are in a constant state of battle with the world. Whether it's a slightly wrinkled shirt, or someone driving slowly, or a stranger is doing something completely harmless that you wouldn't do, each time you spend energy on it, you feel the stress of being somehow wronged by something that, if you're honest, doesn't really matter. And it's exhausting. Trust me, I've spent way too many years living like this. The library thing was just one example. At the time, I had a short fuse and a long list of things that could set it off. And what I remember the most is how convinced I was about being right. Like, there was absolutely no doubt in my mind. Just like your annoying neighbor whom nobody likes, but never stops to think, maybe it's me. And what finally helped me change wasn't anything dramatic. It's not like one day I had a big realization. And in fact, until just a couple of years ago, the flame of annoyance in me would still light up pretty fast. But I just gotten better at dealing with it quickly because I'd learned to do something very simple. To pause, even briefly, every time I felt annoyed by someone or something, and ask myself one of these 3 questions. The first one is simple. Based on what I'm trying to do with my life, does this actually matter? Most of the time, when you put your feeling of irritation up against your goals, your relationship, your actual priorities, you'll easily see that no, it doesn't matter. Like that student staring into the void, it wasn't stopping me from studying. It was just annoying me, but that was my problem, not hers. The second question, is this worth the stress it's costing me? See, even when something is genuinely annoying, your reaction still has a cost. And that cost is often higher than the thing that caused it. And almost every time, that reaction is doing nothing good. Like, you could spend an entire day feeling pissed off about, I don't know, an electrician leaving muddy footprints in your living room. That's really annoying, but your reaction isn't doing anything other than tire you physically and mentally. Finally, the third and also hardest question to ask yourself honestly, what does getting angry about this say about me? This one can't be deflected outward because it points straight at you. And if you sit with it honestly, the answer is usually enough to take the flame out before it spreads. Thank you for watching. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.